So I got a request from Ahsoka Polo on how to make a gunship out of a phantom, and at first I wasn't sure what it was, since I haven't played the campaign in probably 2 years, but once I got the description I was on it, and this one was easy to do. The things you can do with the phantom are crazy fun, and this is just one of those many things. Let's get right into making this thing shoot things. Okay, so for the map setup, we do have a little bit, because we're going to want to make sure we have a path. I've already got the phantom spawner set up with the way to get into the node graph back there, just from that essential phantom tutorial that I will link in the description that you need to watch to make sure you can do this, because that will be the basis of all my phantom tutorials. So to start this off, we're going to go over here to gameplay, we're going to go to scripting, and we're going to grab a pointer. Pointers are great, I love them. Let's put it right here. And the direction that they're facing absolutely matters in this tutorial, so that is something we're going to need to focus on. And we're going to name this one right side. We're going to go down here to the boundary, and we're going to set one up because it will be a area monitor. To have 30, 30, and 30. You want the full 30s on all the length, top, and width. So your phantom can fit in it, because this is going to be basically the starting point and what tells it to do something else in the path that it's on. Now we're going to duplicate this, put it right here, and move it all the way over here to the other side, so we can basically do the exact same thing, and this one is going to be named left side. There we go. Now we're actually going to make 2 more pointers, but these will not be volumes. These are simply so that way the phantom can actually go somewhere, because these area monitors are actually here to trigger it to go to the next place in the path rather than being the point of the path itself. The reason it's got to be done like that is because you can't I mean, I'm sure you can with like advanced scripting. I'm still not there yet, but there's no way for me to actually get the exact object type that the phantom is. So I can't exclude everything else except the phantom, and I can't only include the phantom of entering this zone or that zone. So that way, like if a rocket would come up here, it would get caught and start going the path of the phantom. And same with a banshee or a grenade or whatever object would enter this zone. So the way we have to do it, you'll see why we're doing it like this, is to prevent that from happening. So only your phantom will be able to use this path, and that's it. So we're going to name this one left side PR. The reason why we're naming it PR is position and rotation. So left side, position, rotation, and we can go ahead and copy that and bring it to the other side and place it right under the other pointer. Like I said, the direction matters because we'll be using the rotation of this to kind of give this the look that it's, you know, getting here, turning around, coming here, turning around, and so on. But let's go ahead and rename this to right side PR. And that is it for a map setup. It's basically just a pointers. The other stuff was already here because that was in the main tutorial to even begin this one. Just like the script here, it's the same one. Just whenever it enters that move zone, as soon as it spawns, it will give us the object to be able to manipulate, which is the phantom. Okay, so let's grab all 4 of these and pull them on into our script brain. Come here. Okay. And we can place it down like that with Y, and they're just in a weird order, but that's fine because they'll be moved around anyway. We're going to just get them out of the way. So what we need to do now is we actually need to spawn the zone, because we will eventually have a node to destroy that zone at the beginning of the game, so that way only the phantom can use it when it gets there. So let's go down here to spawn object. There it is. At the very bottom of the objects tab, we're going to place it at the end of this script here, and the object that we're going to spawn is that right side very first spot it's going to be at. And now we need to send it there. So what we're going to do is go to objects transform. We're going to use get object position. We're going to need that, and then we need to also set object position. This is just to basically teleport it so that way it starts when it gets there, and you know it's just automatically already on its path. So we just plug in the position there, and the object position is this. This is okay to use this time. This will be the only time that we use the actual right or left side's position to do anything. And the object that we're going to move is obviously the object that entered, which is our phantom. And we just plug this in here like that. And set object position is set to false for the relativity because it just acts weird on true. I still don't know why or what it means. Okay, so now that we have that set up, the phantom will immediately teleport to our first zone we set up. It's not going to do anything after that yet until we actually get it set up. And to do that, we duplicate our on object entered area. We duplicate the area monitor node since it's right there in front of us. Go ahead and place that, connect it there, and the area monitor object is going to be our right side. And whenever something enters it, which is our phantom, and it will only spawn as soon as that happens, we're actually going to delete it immediately after. This, we're doing it first so that way nothing has a chance to use it except the phantom. And because since it only spawns a tick of the game, a frame or even less, before this sends it over, then it will delete it the moment it touches. So we're talking like less than a frame of the game this would all happen. However long it takes basically a single line of code to run is how long it would take. So you do not have any worries about anything other than your phantom entering this zone, period. That way you are guaranteed that your phantom will be on this path. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and delete it right here. There we go. Now we're going to go to object transform again, and this time we're going to translate object to point. Go ahead and connect these two here. And the object that we're going to be transforming is, or moving, translating, not transforming exactly, is our phantom. The duration in seconds is how long do you think it should take this phantom to travel to the other side or wherever you want it to go on this path. And I'm going to say 12 seconds, and we're going to do linear. I did play around some more that are really neat, but for now we'll just use linear for this. Now we need to get the position, and that's where this comes in, left side position rotation. Go ahead and duplicate our get object position node here. Plug it in where it goes, the object into the object reference, and then our position into the position. So now, as soon as it teleports, it's already going to be on the way to the left side. But it's not going to be facing the right way when it gets there, because it needs to turn around. Well, that's why we have rotate object to point. This is just getting it to do a within a certain amount of time instead of instantly just being turned. And we're going to actually plug in the exact same object, and we're going to use get object rotation. This is why the direction of the pointers absolutely matters, because of this right here. This makes it to where it will turn around to face whichever way the arrow is pointing. And for our duration for that, I'm going to set it to 4 seconds to turn around. It's a big ship and linear. It's a big ship, well, at least big enough, you know, bigger than a Wraith, so it should take a little extra time. So now we're going to spawn our move zone, or not our move zone, but our other pointer, our area monitor, left side. Oh. And the reason why we're doing this now is because this won't end, this will not end, and this won't end until its timers are up. So it will move the phantom over to this spot already, and then it will rotate it only after it's fully rotated, and in that spot will it do this. So you can safely spawn that area monitor while the phantom is already there, and it will immediately, with the snap of a finger, just register it. So nothing else has a chance to, you know, yoink the area monitor and screw up your phantom's path. So now we're going to essentially repeat the process, but we're going to do it in reverse. Well, not the script, but we're going to do it so the phantom travels in reverse. So I'm going to set this up pretty much the exact same way, but the only difference is we're going to use this as our area monitor this time. I guess for we're gonna move this so it doesn't look so spaghettified. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, move this to here, because yes, we will be basically duplicating every single node we just used except for the object references. Okay, and then last but not least, we add a spawn object here, and what we're going to spawn is over here. We're going to spawn this back because that's where we went. Because what we're doing is we're using right side PR this time to hook up instead of left side PR, so that way it travels to the right side, then turns to face the right way before it spawns that, and then as soon as it does, you're back to square one, and this repeats in an endless cycle. So it will go left to right like a gunship and just fire at you. Now here's where we add the last bit of the script in its event, just a regular event on game start. This time it's on game start, so that way it's just before anything can happen in the map, and it's just as soon as this game starts, boom, done. We are going to delete both of these zones since we want the phantom, and when it spawns, to be the one to create the path in the first place. So we want to make sure that nothing else can do it, and they only appear when, there we go, they only appear whenever the phantom hits this right here, and then the path is guaranteed to only be the phantom, and there you go. So let me double check here. I'm going to make sure he's got the guns on, so that way he can kind of shoot at me. The units do not matter because it won't be dropping troops. And we're going to turn the initial spawn to 2 seconds, that way it just kind of happens immediately. There we go. Yep, and it's going to shoot at me this time, so we can just kind of see it happening. It's going to spawn, and then that area monitor will disappear. Boom, and here it is. Alright, I got its attention. It may actually kill me, but we'll still be able to see what's going on. Alright, it got over to the left side. Now it's going to turn. And then it's going to head back over to the right side. And it won't drop its troops because whenever it's in the process... Ooh, there I am. I'm dead. When it's in the process of being transformed or moved with the object's transform nodes like that, with the duration, the game holds it. It will not let it move freely. So yeah, it will constantly do this until you destroy the phantom. Or if it's indestructible, it's just going to do it forever. And you're just going to have to deal with it. But there you go. That's how you get... And before I forget, I'm not really going to showcase it just because it would take a little longer, but you would just essentially have to repeat the process for each point. Let's say you wanted it to go in a square, you would add 2 more pointers here and name them, you know, the different corners. And then you go into the script and you would have this one as the next corner and not the opposite corner. Like this is the opposite side. This is going from left to right. If you wanted to go from corner to the corner next to it, you would go this way, and then the corner next to it, and then the corner next to it, in order, so that way it goes in a full circle. But yeah, you can do it for as many points as you set up, technically, and you can make a really intricate path for this phantom just by using this method. You'd have to, of course, like I said, increase your node. I call them nodes because that's essentially what we are doing, is creating nodes in the air for your phantom to travel on. But that's it. That's how you get yourself a gunship in the Halo Infinite Forge with the Phantom AI spawner. So there you have it. If you want the Phantom to be more of a menace than just dropping off troops, this is how you get them to be more of an ominous presence on your battlefield. Speaking of battlefields, I think my stop is coming up. Gotta remember, no kicking chieftains in the balls this time.